You're listening to the Uplevel Your Online Business Show, where wealth is empowering, purpose is crucial, and high vibes are non-negotiable. And now, here's your host, certified business coach and practical woo strategist, Sara J Loureiro.
Welcome to another episode of the Uplevel Your Online Business Show with me, Sara. Today, I have a wonderful guest in front of me. I'm actually really excited about her niche. Her name is Kathleen Kobel, and she is an author and entrepreneur that specializes in making money on Amazon. Welcome, Kathleen. It's so nice to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me, Sara. I'm very excited to chat with you.
Okay, awesome. And I completely forgot to ask you, is your name Kobel or Kobel?
Kobel. Yes, you got it right.
Oh, I got it right. Awesome. So, Kathleen, I'm really excited about this, especially because I was actually talking to one of my good friends who's also an online business owner, coach, and influencer. And she was telling me about how she gets Amazon affiliates consistently as well. She just kind of like puts links in her emails and things like that. And I was like, ooh, that would be really interesting to have as an add-on, especially because so many of my listeners are coaches, are people who are in the high ticket service-based industry. But I would love for you to kind of tell us how you got into this. How did you get involved in, like being an Amazon specialist? Tell us more.
Sure. So I started selling my old textbooks back in 2009 when you could only sell books on Amazon. So I've been earning on Amazon for a very long time. I've kind of seen how it's progressed over the years. And when I first started making money on Amazon, like I said, it was because I was reselling items. And so I really saw the potential very quickly. I was able to sell my textbooks like within a week. I had $500. It just seemed like too good to be true, right? And again, this is 15 years ago. So it's quite different now. But that's how I got into like making money on Amazon. And it was just always really interesting to me, like how the platform worked. And obviously Amazon is, progressed and developed over the years. And so when I found this opportunity initially, I was working for an entrepreneur and I approached her. I'm like, hey, can I like help you sell your stuff on Amazon? I'm learning how to sell on, this platform. It seems like a good opportunity. And so that's kind of how I really got the ball rolling there. I learned how to pretty much sell anything on Amazon. I worked for him for a long time. And then I went out on my own after I had my first baby, when I really realized my time just became so much more valuable. And all I wanted to do was spend as much time with my kids as I possibly could. And so I ended up leaving my job and launching my own agency. So I've helped launch over 1,000 different brands on Amazon, all selling physical products. And I did that for quite a few years until, one day I was working on a client's product listing page on Amazon. And I noticed that there were a couple of videos on there that we didn't put on the product page. And so I watched the videos and it was this UGC content that I had no idea who this person was, but underneath their name on the video, it said earns commission. And so I got really intrigued as to like, how are they earning money right now? And how can I learn more about this? So that's when I really discovered the kind of extra opportunity that Amazon created around then. This was about not quite 4 years ago. And it's the Amazon Influencer Program. So it's similar to being an Amazon affiliate where you earn affiliate commissions, but it takes it one step further in that you are able to create your own Amazon storefront. So you can create lists of items that you use and love and, promote that on your social platforms. But the really big opportunity with the Amazon Influencer Program that Amazon launched a few years ago was the ability to earn on-site commission. And so what that means is you basically create these videos where, some people call them product review videos, where you talk about the items that you have from Amazon. You basically create these like 1 to 2 minute videos highlighting one particular product. But the kind of secret sauce is that you actually upload your content to Amazon. So your content lives on Amazon and gets put in front of customers on Amazon already kind of contemplating buying that item that you've created a video for. And so instead of having to, post all over social media and have this humongous following, you're actually able to use Amazon's customer base. Amazon does the marketing for you, and all you have to do is create the content. So That's what I've been doing for the last few years. It's bringing in some great money. And I'm really excited to talk with you about it because it is semi-passive, but it's also a nice, kind of side income thing that pretty much anyone can do, whether you have your own business that you're already running, or you have a 9 to 5 and you're looking for some extra income. And so I love talking about this opportunity because I feel like not a lot of people know that there's this additional feature to like the Amazon affiliate program.
I love that. Yeah. And I remember one of my clients a few years back was telling me that was the very first time I've ever heard of user generated content. And so she was like, yeah, they bring me a product, I try the product, I do a video about a product, and I get paid. And I think it's a lot of people do multi-level marketing and those types of things. And I think that it's very common for people to have their main business, but then also have like the side thing. And I mean, the side thing for you became the main thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is really great. And we can totally talk about that as well. But I think especially for everyone who's listening here, like how can they get started? And let's say, for example, how can a coach add Amazon affiliates and things like that to get paid extra, while they're still doing, they don't have to change their niche, right? That's another really beautiful thing. You don't have to change your niche. You don't have to have, like you said, upload a completely different profile on social media or anything. How would someone get started?
Yeah. So if anyone that's listening, just Google Amazon influencer program sign up and it'll bring you right to the page where you sign up. And so you do have to kind of qualify, right? And Amazon is really great at telling us not a lot of details, right? So we don't actually know how many followers do you need on which platforms to qualify. And so I always just tell people apply with the social media account that has the most engagement. And Amazon gives us 4 different options. You can apply with YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook. So really you just, like I said, Google that page and go through the motions of applying and you'll know right away whether you're in or not. They'll tell you right away. And if you get in, you're in. We'll go to step 2 in a second. If you don't get in though, don't be discouraged because you can apply with any of your other 3 platforms that you didn't apply with initially. And you can also apply an unlimited amount of times. So like I have people that I help get into the program. And first off, TikTok is the lowest barrier to entry. So start with TikTok if you have a TikTok channel. But it's also like, it's all about engagement, right? So even if you only have, 100 followers on TikTok, but everyone's very engaged and you're posting, once or twice a day, you very much, that could very much meet Amazon's qualifications. So you don't have to necessarily be like a full-on influencer in order to get into the program. I think that's kind of a very common misconception just because of the way that they've named the program. I am certainly not an influencer, and I've been doing this for about 4 years now. So that's kind of step 1. And so once you get in, then Amazon will give you the ability to have like your own influencer storefront, right? And this is kind of where all of your content lives that you will upload to Amazon. So you can upload videos, photos, you can create idea lists, which are, lists of, different products, like my favorite travel items, things like that. My favorite things to use in my business. And so that's kind of step 1. Step 2 is really like the main way that I earn money is through their on-site commission program. And what that is basically when you upload your content to Amazon, Amazon will put it on their product pages. And so the beauty is that your video will live on a product page where an Amazon customer is already deciding, should I buy this thing? They get to watch your video because Amazon puts it right in front of them. And then if they purchase after watching your video, then you earn a commission. So the more videos you have, the more opportunity you have to earn. And the one thing you have to do is get unlocked for on-site commission. And that's just submitting 3 videos. And Amazon just wants to, know that you know their rules and regulations and make those 3 videos. Once they're approved, then you're unlocked and you can upload as much or as little content as you want to their platform.
That is so cool. I love hearing about all of this. And so give us a little bit of an idea of like how much commission you could earn. So, if you don't want to share your numbers, totally fine. But like what could someone expect? Like what is the range, would you say, in terms of like how much someone could earn out of this month?
So yeah, it really depends. So when I first started, granted, this was a few years ago and there are a lot more influencers now, right? But when I first started, my very first month, I made $900. My second month, I made $4,000. My third month, I made $5,000. And so it really it's more about product selection and finding those good products that you can create those videos for. And with my Amazon seller background, that really helped me be able to accelerate my earnings like much quicker than just kind of the average person who didn't have that kind of background. But so let's say, for example, Amazon typically pays out between 1% and 4%, which doesn't sound like a lot, right? But at the end of the day, you're not shipping anything, you're not talking to customers, you're not even really selling. You're creating this content that ideally is paying you, over and over every single day. So let's say, for example, so I've been really successful with home items because home pays out 4%, and that's one of the top categories. So, I try to be very smart about when I create the content so that I know that I'm always going to have a good ROI, on my time. And so, I'm looking at this couch I have in my office here, and I think I paid $250 for it, and it pays out 4%. So was it like about $10 every sale I get? And so I have 3 different videos that live on Amazon, and so even if I only make one sale a day, okay, that's $10 a day for this one video. Now I have 800 videos up right now because I've been doing this for a while. So, not all of my products are priced at, $250. Some are $10. Some are actually just made a sale this morning for a product that's $2,500. So 4% on that is a really nice, commission there. So it really ranges, but the more videos, the better product selection. That is really what will determine how successful you could be with this program.
Ooh, I love it. Yeah, this is so great. Awesome. And so you've been doing this specifically for 4 years, you said?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And what do you help your clients with now? Like, what is the trajectory that you help people with? Like, do you help them, kickstart it? Do you help them accelerate it? Like, what is your role within the mentorship that you do?
Yes, a little bit of both, depending on where people are. So I get a lot of people who are just starting. And so I help them with not only getting into the Amazon influencer program, because now, since I've been doing this for a while, I've been teaching it for about 2 years out of the 4 that I've been doing it. And so we have this amazing community full of super supportive people who are like, okay, we've got a new person. They need some more engagement on TikTok. All right, everyone, go follow this person on TikTok, engage with them. So that's been really helpful just to, kind of help people bridge that gap and be able to get into the program. But then, I help people from beginning all the way up to scaling. I have a free masterclass where I kind of walk through like my 5-step process. And so it gives you just like a good overview of the opportunity, but then like the path to get to that $10,000 a month with this particular program. And so I have a course really, but I call it more of a program because we do live Q&A calls. We're constantly uploading traits, more like a membership, but it's priced like a course, and that it's a one-time fee. And so really I love helping people, whether they are just getting started or they've been doing this for a few years like I have, and they're like they've just hit this kind of income plateau because, like I said, with my seller background, I'm able to kind of see things as far as, how the product listing pages work, what kind of sales number these sellers are doing on each product page. And that's been very helpful in order to guide people who don't have that Amazon background to help them earn more.
I love that. And I'm also just like right now I'm thinking about ideas because my first client who told me about the user-generated content, she was a health coach. And so health coaches, it's amazing, right? Because there's so many products and like supplements and things like that, that if they truly believe in it, they, like they can earn more money, which is amazing. But even I'm thinking like, life coaches. I have so many clients who are life coaches. And let's say, for example, if they're journals, if there are self-care type things, like even some of the health stuff, because it does fall under the category of like self-care, home, things like that. I have clients who are like, do lifestyle design, right? So why not, like you said, well, if we have, a new sofa, like why not also earn a commission on that? And I think it's so nice to not only just because what we do in our online businesses is high ticket coaching and high ticket services, but then there's always the people. And I always tell my clients this too. Influencers typically sell other people's products. And so you typically need a little bit more of an audience to do that with, and you get less money, but it's more passive. And then high ticket, you need a smaller audience, and you need less people, but you ultimately are making more per person. And so, but when you can combine the two, right? Like you get a really nice fusion of both worlds where you can also appease to the people who are, let's say, for example, never gonna, pay for your high ticket, but they still want to support you and they still love these products that you're talking about.
Definitely. It's such an easy and kind of natural, organic way to be promoting products, that you're already using in your business and earn a little bit of passive, income on the side. Like, for example, I have my Amazon storefront URL is at the bottom of my email signature. And so, people can click on that at any point. And then, I have pinned idea lists based on, the season, or if I'm talking about a particular subject in my social media posts, right? I make sure that that content is right there at the top so it's relevant, but I'm also helping direct people, make it easy for them to buy the things that you're already recommending to them because they trust you. And so, why not make it easy for them and help yourself make a little extra money too?
I love that. Yeah, awesome. And so were you working a full-time job before you got into this? Or like what was the trajectory for you where you were just like, I'm going to make this full-time?
So I was not working a full-time job. I had a full-time consulting agency. And so I was helping brands. Basically my team and I would manage the Amazon sales channel for, multiple different brands at a time. And so it was a great business. Like I said, I love selling things on Amazon and earning on Amazon, but it just got it got a little overwhelming and kind of led to burnout when I would be on, 8 to 10 calls every day and managing a team of, 10 to 15 people. And then, not really being able to take a day off if I wanted to just go hang with my kids. And so, like I said, while the business model is fantastic for many, many people, it just kind of led me to burnout. And I was just looking for an easier way to make money. And thankfully, I came across this opportunity, which was very much still in my area of expertise, but was able to pivot. And while I still do some consulting for Amazon brands, this is really, what I enjoy doing and what I'm really focused on nowadays.
Yeah, amazing. And so with that, tell us a little bit more about the book. So how did the book come to fruition?
Yes, yes. So the book has always been a bucket list item, right? I think most entrepreneurs out there are like, I'm going to write a book, and it kind of gives you a little more clout. Definitely helps with marketing as well, right? And so I've always wanted to write a book. And so the book is called The Unconventional Business Model, and it's a lot about how I've been able to build a business around my lifestyle instead of the other way around. And, I was talking about my agency and kind of how it led to burnout. That was not an example of a business model that really served me at the time. It did for a while, until it didn't. And so I was able to pivot into this new business model and just the book is all about kind of how I got to where I am today, but also like the lessons learned along the way. And I also talk about a few different business models that I've done, that I've been successful in, some that I've failed at. And so really just kind of exposing newbies or people that are looking to start a new business as to kind of some guidance on where to get started, what to avoid, and really at the end of the day, how to build a business that serves them instead of, running their life.
Yeah. Okay, great. And I see it in the background. No one else could see this, but I see it in the background. It looks amazing.
Thank you.
And I mean, I love that. And this is something that I'm all about as well, is like designing a business around your life and not the other way around, because I think a lot of us as well, when we get into one-to-one consulting and service-based businesses, we design a 9 to 5 for ourselves. And then it's like, we're and it's not even just a 9 to 5. It's like a 9 to, what do we call it? A 9 to 9?
Yeah, I'd say like a 7 to 7 or a 9 to 9.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Where, we're just constantly working on the business. And yes, it's more of a passion project, but at the same time, it's like, that's not why we got into it in the first place. And so I love this as like an extra fold of income to really bring in to, like help with costs, like help with, everything else that we have going on, right? I think it's just such a genius idea. So yeah, so thank you for sharing all of this. This has been wonderful having you here. Is there any, are there any last tips or anything that you want to mention to our listeners?
I would just say if you're looking for that kind of additional revenue stream, whether it, kind of aligns with your existing business or not, check out the Amazon Influencer Program because there are so many different ways that you can earn with it. Like I kind of talked about a couple of them, but, even just kind of going beyond, so I just create videos for all the stuff I buy on Amazon, right? So it's almost like I'm kind of zeroing out my purchases on Amazon. I know if a lot of people could do that, they would be like, amazing. I've won at life because I, make all my money back that I spend on Amazon. But to take it one step further, there are other opportunities that snowball just like in any other business, right? You go into it with a certain kind of expectation and here's what I'm doing to earn money, but then it snowballs into more. For example, I have a brand I work with that now sends me a pair of shoes for myself and every one of my kids every month. And all I have to do is create a 1 to 2 minute video about each of these pairs of shoes, right? And that not only saves me a ton of money because I have 3 young kids who really beat up any pair of shoes that they have on their feet. But now I'm able to work with this brand and partner with them with other things too. And that's just led to more opportunities and more exposure. And, it's a fun way to make money. It doesn't really feel like work, so it's fun. And there's a lot of opportunities to kind of expand beyond just creating content for Amazon too.
Ooh, okay. This is all so juicy. So love it. I feel like everyone's going to be really excited with this episode as well. Where can we find you? And yeah, tell us all of the good stuff that you have for everyone as we finish this off.
Yes. Thank you. So you can find me. My website is KathleenKobel.com. Whole bunch of information on there. But I really recommend checking out my free masterclass, which is just KathleenKobel.com/masterclass. And that's going to take you through my 5-step system of kind of going and getting approved for the Amazon Influencer Program and really the strategy behind how to scale to $10,000 a month every single month with just doing this. And so that's my free masterclass. I also have a ton of free information on my YouTube channel, which is just my name at Kathleen Kobel. And then I have my book is also on Amazon. So if you need some inspirational reading or listening, you can check out The Unconventional Business Model on Amazon too.
All right. Well, this was great. Honestly, I'm so inspired by our conversation. Yeah. Thanks for doing this with us.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for listening to the Uplevel Your Online Business Show. If you enjoy our show and would like the show notes and free goodies about how to grow your online coaching business, head over to sarajloureiro.com for more information. We hope you'll tune in next time.